You know, man, I think it's human nature for us to really love the idea of what we should do or who we would want to become. But when it comes time to actually do those things or to, work towards becoming that person, a lot of us are nowhere to be found, bro. It feels so good and it's so easy to sit there and think about all the things that you need to do because let's be real, man. For those of us who are trying to better ourselves, and for those of us who keep making mistakes and doing so, which nothing wrong with mistakes at all, a lot of us know what we need to do. We know what things we need to let go of, and we know what things we need to adopt. We know who we need to stay away from, and we know who we need to get closer to. You know what I mean? So there is not, for a lot of us, for some people there is a certain degree of ignorance there, but for a lot of us, there is no ignorance there in terms of us knowing what we should do. We often sit around and play with the idea of what we should do, and it feels good. It feels good to be in a position of knowing that I need to do these things because that's part of the process. That's the first step of what I'm saying, of trying to better yourself, of knowing what it is that you need to do. But I feel like so often we begin to fantasize and we fall in love with the things that we should do to the degree where we kind of trick our brains, we trick ourselves into thinking, or maybe we trick our subconscious of believing that the job has been done, that we've already accomplished what it is that we need to accomplish. One of the things that I've been thinking about as of late is the idea of visualizing the kind of person that you want to become or the things that you want to do. I think it's a lovely practice, but I think it's one of those things that when done a lot or maybe too much, if it's possible to do that too much, which I think that's possible, we can kind of trick ourselves again to thinking that we've already done the job. And I think what makes this even worse, and I want to make a whole separate video on this, so I don't want to go too deep into this, but we begin to tell everybody what it is that we're going to do. We start telling our family, our close friends, our partner, we start telling everybody what it is that we're going to do before we even do it. And when we do it, we tell them with such vigor, with such strength. We're like, oh, tomorrow or next week, man, I'm going to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get this done. And by doing this, I'm going to become this person. But again, when it comes time for us to sit down and do those things, a lot of us are nowhere to be found. And, that speaks a lot on the difference between the idea of a thing and the doing of a thing. A lot of us love the idea of the thing, of sitting there and thinking of the things that we should do. But again, the doing of it, that's very distinguishable from just the idea. But whatever that idea is that you've been holding dormant, that you haven't been working on, and again, I say this to myself before anyone else, is at some juncture, bro, at some point, thinking about it is not enough. Thinking about it is, of course, again, part of the process, but thinking about it at some point, especially if you've been thinking about what you should do for a while, thinking about it, bro, you're gonna need more. So what this video is, bro, this is a sign to you who click this video. This is a sign for you to go all in, bro. And what I mean by going all in is, okay, realizing that I've been thinking about this thing for a while, but now it's time to take action. If I don't take action, my imagination, my dreams are just gonna remain that, just dreams. What's that one saying? I think I heard Denzel Washington say this once, that dreams without goals are just dreams, and that's facts, bro. Like, thank God we have the ability to imagine and to, hold in our head what we have the ability to hold in our hands. But at some juncture, bro, at some point, it's about the action, And I say that to myself as someone who, has done a lot of that, of telling people what I'm gonna do and swearing to myself I'm gonna do this and that, but not doing it. Nah, man. At some juncture, at some point, we gotta get up, bro. We gotta get up and do the thing we've been thinking about for so long. And the doing of that, befriending hardship, befriending adversity, knowing that, okay, there's a difference between the idea of this thing and the doing of this thing. And the doing of this thing, sometimes it sucks. However, my future self is gonna thank me, man. Time to go all in, bro. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Whatever it is for me right now, I guess one of my priorities in life, of course, is to grow this channel. And I've been a little bit inconsistent the past, 2 weeks or so, or not as consistent as I was over winter break, right? But I started to sit there and think, man, if I want this to go places, bro, not only do I have to be consistent, but I gotta be more consistent than the most consistent people For me, that's how I look at it, or if not more, as consistent as the most consistent people on this platform, bro. I gotta go all in. I gotta give it 110% day in and day out, whether that be just the formulation of ideas or getting feedback from people, or recording these videos, editing. It's time to go all in, bro. And as I begin to apply for jobs and look at what's next for me after college, like I gotta go all in on that too, bro. Cause the distractions are always gonna be there. What's not always gonna be there, bro, is the opportunity to change our lives, the opportunity to capitalize upon what's in front of us, bro. That right there, that is not always gonna be there. The interesting thing about going all in is that it has two parts to it, you know what I'm saying? Like in terms of how things suck and how things are good. The right now will suck, you know what I'm saying? The sacrifices that you have to make, things of going to sleep early and waking up early, or maybe even sometimes distancing yourself from some people, not necessarily because those people are bad people, but because you got to lock in. You need that individual time to formulate and to do the things that you need to do, which a lot of times require independence. There's just so many sacrifices on the journey of going all in, but it's your future self, man. Like it's that self, even though you don't have an entire relation with that self. It's that future self that's gonna look back and be like, damn, man, thank God I did all the things that I did. I think for me in my life, man, the time in my entire life, the time when I've gone the most all in was when I played basketball, bro. When I played basketball, when I first moved to Maryland, man, like the grind, how serious, how into it I was, bro. Nothing in my entire life thus far has reached that level of commitment. I remember in 8th grade, I would when I would get up, I would take my basketball, right, and I would put it in this bag, this like Under Armour bag that I had, right. It was like a plastic bag. Then I'd put my Currys in there, my basketball shoes, and then later on I got Kobe's. But I'd put my shoes in there, and then after school, I would walk like I believe it was like about a mile to the basketball court, cause the bus would drop me off at this one neighborhood, then I would walk to the court. And I did this day in and day out for years, from like 8th grade to like the end of my sophomore year, bro. Now, I don't say this at all to gloat, or to show that I have some kind of work ethic or anything like that. It's more so that I'm just reflecting, you know what I mean? Like I was so all in. I remember before going to sleep, I would do like 50 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. Everything that I did in my life, man, like it all revolved around the game, man. I was really all in. And in this day and age, man, I feel like when we're thinking about going all in, when we're thinking about being fully committed, one thing that's so important to keep in mind is taking incremental steps, Maybe not just hopping into the habits all at once or whatever it is that you're going to do, but kind of building up. And the reason why I say that is because we truly do live in a distraction epidemic, which whole different video I'm going to make, but let's talk about that a little bit. Like we do live in a distraction epidemic, and what this distraction has done to a lot of us, it's made us like almost unable to be fully committed to things, because while we're doing that thing of productivity, we're thinking about the distractions, or the distraction is right there in front of us. So in this way, our brain is used to that. So what we have to do is slowly but surely build up those habits, slowly but surely do the things that we want to do. Because to just be completely frank, a lot of us have gained an inability to be committed. So yeah, man, whatever it is that you want to do, bro, like, and I say this to myself first again, like, let's not let our dreams just be dreams, man. It's all about taking it one day at a time, taking it 1 week at a time, and trying your best to live every day as if it's your last. Working hard every single day like your life depends upon it, because it does. For me right now, I think that looks like, making these videos and trying to figure out what's next after college persistently, making the necessary sacrifices that I need to do to, to be in a better spot some months from now. Again, like I said in a recent video, like one of the things that we got to prioritize on this journey of commitment is that it's not going to be a linear path, man. Like I'm going to mess up, you're going to mess up, but it's really about how we get back up and how we proceed, bro. So yeah, man, whatever it is that you need to do, that you're trying to do, go all in, bro. Like stop living and letting this thing just be an idea. Stop, man. Get up and let's grind. Let's work for it, bro. Because your future self is gonna thank you, bro. Yeah, man, I've been thinking about that for a while now, but stay grinding, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.